All right, guys. Welcome to the first episode of the Circle K podcast, where we talk about movies and other things.
Yeah, movies.
All right. I'm Horatio. Um, I am not the host. That would be my boy Enrique over there.
What's up,
Would you like?
guys? It's me, Enrique. I'm the host of this. Well, I'm the main host. I'm just that cool.
All right. Next up, Jack. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jack, and I just but so yeah,
All right,
that's
all right,
that's
guys.
me.
All right,
That's me.
guys.
All right, guys. So we're gonna later on we're gonna do our main segment where we're gonna talk about the new Miyazaki film, The Boy and the Heron.
In this episode, we're going to be talking about the new Miyazaki movie, The Boy and the Heron, while also introducing what films we have seen this past month or so, talking about them, discussing, and then getting to the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right.
I think we
Enrique.
should, if we're going to do this, I think we should kind of start with Enrique, then go to Horatio, and then go to me, so I can like think about it.
Yeah, you get to think about it. We don't get to think about it.
Yay! Thank you.
All right.
What's the time frame for recent?
I guess
Uh,
like
last
like
two
last
2 weeks.
last few weeks.
Okay, so
Whatever
what's
is
22nd?
whatever piqued
So-
your interest and tickled your fancy.
You know what? I'm just gonna tell you everything I saw
All right.
in the month of December.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
tell you everything I've seen ever.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Okay, so December 2nd, I saw the new Netflix movie, May December. That's actually like one of the best movies of the year. It's like dark.
Really?
It's like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what a dark comedy is. You guys aren't distinguished like myself.
No, I watch Utopia. I know what a dark comedy is. I know
Dark comedy. It has
I watched Tar the second time around.
it has Natalie Portman. Yeah, it's very well. It's very good. It's very good. It's very well. Yeah.
Very well.
Very well. Okay, so on December 3rd, next day, I saw Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is okay. Well, it's mid. It has a lot of flaws.
I some people say it's the best one. I haven't actually seen any of the Raimi trilogy.
Who says that? Who
I
says
watched I watched the first of the Raimi trilogy.
Like I guess like Shea Fro's Productions. I heard they
Yeah,
said that.
Schaefer Ellis
Joel
production.
Haver did it. Joel
Joel
Haver said
Haver.
it.
I know Joel Haver's like a sketch comedy guy. I don't know why he's talking about films. He's like the dude who made The Grinch Uncensored.
You know, you don't know. You don't get it. You don't get
Okay.
it.
6 days later, on the 9th, I saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Let's go.
It's a true classic. One of the greatest films of all time, dare I say.
It is the title of this podcast.
Yeah, Circle K. It's strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Yeah, we're not doing Circle K product placement for free. No. So next day, Godzilla -1, which is also probably like third best of the year.
They're doing
now.
a black. They're doing a
Yeah.
black and white cut. Of
You excited
Godzilla
for the black and white cut?
I think I told you this already, but I don't see why it's necessary. I mean, it's cool.
Well, they did it for like Mad Max Fury Road. They did it for like Parasite.
Yeah, I think
They
it's
did it for-
it's like,
they did it
it's
for-
like a cash grab.
They did it for Mad Max. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did it for
They
Fury
did it.
Road, yeah.
You know what movie got a black and white cut?
What?
What?
The Zack Snyder Justice League.
Oh yeah. Not even to re-release the movie. They just put it on HBO Max.
They just put it on Max.
And
Yeah.
wasn't it called? Wasn't it called like
Justice is gray. Justice is gray. Yeah.
It's a truly morally gray movie.
Okay. December 15th, I saw Wonka.
All right. How's Wonka?
Wonka's good. Wonka is
terrible.
better than I thought.
Not gonna lie,
Thought-
it kind of looks terrible. I can't lie.
No. That's what I thought. I thought this was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like.
I've never seen any of the Chocolate Factory movies. I saw a little bit of the Tim Burton one when I was like 6 years old.
I
and it
haven't
scared
seen.
me.
I have never seen the Tim Burton one. I saw the original when I was like 3.
Rache is a huge.
I've
defender of
read the
Tim Burton
book.
one.
I've read the book like 20 times, so I know the Willy Wonka lore.
I will defend the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Timothy Chalamet does very good in it. I'll be honest, he does really good. He was better than I thought he was gonna be. So the next day, I saw Spirited Away. No, not Spirited Away. No, Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is actually really good. Hot take right there. Scott Pilgrim good. It's
Okay,
really
buddy.
like it's like it has a very like 2010 like troll face like
It does. It
yeah.
kind of I think what holds it up is the visual gags.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In particular,
The
just like
fights.
the pacing of it. No, honestly, I don't know why nobody talks about this. The VFX for Scott Pilgrim in 2010 are genuinely cracked for 2010. It is actually
Well,
insane how good they are for that
that's
decade.
not 2010 wasn't bad VFX.
Yeah, okay, but we also got like
There was Avatar, James Cameron.
okay, we did get Avatar, but that took like 12 years, buddy.
If you look at the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, the octopus guy, like Davy Jones, that guy's like really well
That guy
situated.
is cool. Okay, that is a fair point. But
Gollum and
yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
I think just in general, more people need to talk about what they were doing with the VFX on that movie because it
Oh
looks
yeah,
really good.
I saw Grease the next day. I don't really have anything to say about Grease. It's pretty good. So then I saw Spirited Away, which that kind of relates to the podcast on the main segment of it.
Yeah.
So I'll bring that up in the second.
Yeah, we can talk about Spirited Away when we talk
I'm a
about Boy and the
reserve.
Heron.
Yeah, I'm a reserve it, but
And
I
I'm
watched
also gonna reserve Boy and the Heron thoughts. So I'm not gonna say anything about that one. Then I saw Morbius. And then on December 21st,
You're just gonna breeze over that, Enrique.
it's bad.
as a moderator of a Rache used to be a moderator of a Morbius meme Discord server.
We
when
saw
he
I
was
saw
like
After
13.
Sun. After Sun, guys.
Very
I
good.
don't know if you've heard this anywhere. After Sun is really good.
Yeah.
It's one. It's
Yeah,
probably
you haven't heard it from me. You haven't heard
it's
it from me.
probably the best one of 2022. It was better on rewatch, I'd say. Yeah. So that's what I saw in the month of December. So, who would like to go next?
I can go next. All right. So on December 2nd, I watched Elf for the billionth time. Not a lot to say about it. It's very funny. Will Ferrell gives an amazing performance. It's maybe my favorite Christmas movie. It's kind of like a tradition.
I've quite literally never seen Elf, and everybody
Oh,
talks.
by the way, don't talk about like short films and like
I
TV
won't.
shows.
I won't.
Do
Talk about
not.
else-
I swear to God.
Yeah.
All right. And then I watched 2 days later on the 4th. I watched Late Spring, which was
Isn't that
kind
Ozu?
of yes, it is Ozu. And it's kind
I
of a
gotta look that.
masterpiece.
Ozu.
I gotta look that one up because I forget you watch like movies nobody's heard of ever.
No, I've heard no, because he did
No, I just
Tokyo
remember
Story.
this one
He
now.
did Tokyo
I
Story.
just
Yeah, Late Spring is really fantastic. It's like a really really slow burner. Sort of like almost it's almost a rom-com. And like it's basically it kind of is a rom-com. But it's really well done. Really well written. There's actually a sequel called Early Summer that I need to watch.
Tokyo Story, isn't that like the third part of the series?
Oh, it might be. I actually do not
Yeah,
know.
yeah. What is with I'll bring it up later, actually.
All
Yeah,
right,
continue.
All right. And then on the 5th, I watched Taika Waititi's Hunt for the Wilder People, which was a huge hit. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I quite enjoyed everything about it. Very enjoyable, very charming. The guy who plays Ricky Baker actually gave like one of my favorite performances, like from a comedic actor that I think I've seen. Like he was
that's one of
was
the only
able-
Taika films I haven't seen.
yeah, he's able to like make you care for his character while also
Are we
being
talking
hilarious.
performances or child performances?
Just child. I think like child comedic performances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the next day, I watched Master Gardener, Paul Schrader. Which
All right, let's hear about this
my-
one. Let's hear about this
okay,
one.
So I watched this on a plane, and I was half asleep when I watched it. And when I watched it, I thought it was like the best movie I'd ever seen. I think I gave it like 100 out of 100 on my Letterboxd review. And then like 2 days later, I was like, this is kind of bad. So it kind of went from a 5-star to a 3-star within 2 weeks.
They I don't know if it's true. It might be wrong, but I heard somewhere that like when you're in a plane,
Mhm.
like the less air,
Mhm.
like in the sky,
Mhm.
dilutes like your brain's like taste.
Yeah.
So you like think that stuff is better than it is.
You might as well.
That's why plane food is so bad.
You might as well have like smoked marijuana and then watched like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example. Spy Kids 3D and thought it was genuinely cracked.
Yeah.
All right.
So Master Gardener, do not I mean watch it. It's fine. I just think it's kind of boring and kind of like sort of lame visually. Uh for
I
weirdly I
watched
feel like,
it. I watched the trailer. The lighting kind of looks
yeah,
horrendous.
the lighting's kind of bad. And then a few days later I watched Anticipation of the Night by Stan Brakhage, which is really good. Experimental film.
Guys, it
Uh,
goes. You know what album that goes well with?
Dark Side of the Moon by
Dark
Pink
Side of
We
the
Floyd.
Moon.
listened. We
Yeah.
listened to a little bit of Dark Side of the Moon with those album with that movie as visuals before it got kind of boring and we played like a game. But yeah, Dark Side of the Moon goes hard. I have literally nothing to say about it because I kind of forgot everything about what it looks like. I can't lie.
It's cool. I
Fun.
recommend
didn't
it.
finish it. I didn't finish it.
All right. And then on that same day, I watched I double featured Get Out and John Wick, which is the weirdest double feature of all time.
I mean, it makes
Uh,
sense. Really think about it.
Yeah,
Because it's
but
both movies about like guys.
What?
the Get Out was quite good. I quite enjoyed Get Out. It was like really tense. One of the best thrillers I've seen. Then John Wick was just like fun. Keanu Reeves is like surprisingly good in it. And it's just a blast.
I have a
yeah.
friend that like begs me to watch John Wick like all the time, bro.
Yeah, John Wick is an unofficial sequel to Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
In my head canon.
Well, we all know
Um,
what's a better movie.
True. Then 2 days later, on the 15th, I watched Wavelength, which was really good.
Okay, I want to shout out
Jack's gonna
Horatio Perry. Shout out Horatio Perry for putting a movie where people are just like straight up yelling. Where people are just like not yelling. I don't know why I said that. Just walking through a hallway over. Let me find your list really quick. This is movies that Rache just put Wavelength over. Let me close my door.
Jack is closing his door.
Under. Wait, okay, I'm gonna restart this sentence. Cut it out. Cut out everything I just said before. All right, here's a list of movies that Rache thinks is
No, we have to
worth
keep this real.
Wavelength.
I'm not cutting out anything.
Dude, you gotta cut out some stuff like stuttering or just like going on too long. That's how podcasts work.
Right, go on, Jack.
All right, I gotta find your list. Rache. Movies that Rache thinks is worse than Wavelength in his top 75. All right, so we got 1917, House, Labyrinth, Her, Fantastic Mr. Fox, No Country for Old Men, Uncut Gems, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, The Boy and the Heron, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Shawshank Redemption, After Sun. Bro, what are you up to? What are you up to?
I think Wavelength is really interesting technically. I think it's very visually compelling.
Technically, it's very interesting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I think what
okay.
little story there is actually really interesting. And I definitely applaud the guy who made it. I forgot his name.
It's
for like something Snow, Paul Snow or something.
yeah,
I don't
Michael
know.
Snow.
Michael Snow.
Yeah, Michael Snow.
I definitely applaud his bravery for trying something that out there. And that's sort of why I like it. On the same day, I watched Rotting in the Sun with Jack, one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah, I like
Super
it. It was,
fun.
it reminds. It's like I want to call like Uncut Gems with the cinematography of Fallen Angels, with the stress of Uncut Gems, not just like plot, with the kind of wild energy, the wild queer romance energy of like Happy Together.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Happy Together is not what I would call like a good romance.
Well, okay, well, like the energy, well, just like the energy of that movie, because
Yeah.
it's not this movie's not really romance either. It's
It
not
look,
near
you know what?
romance. It's not near
You know what
romance.
this looks like. I'm looking at it right
And
now.
no spoilers, but also kind of a mystery movie. So
It looks like some of Nathan Fielder's work.
Oh yeah, kind of.
what
Like
I don't get that at all.
It's very meta. It's very meta. It's a very meta movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is quite literally about the guy that made the movie. So
Yeah,
I think
it's-
meta is an understatement.
It's so cool. Then a day later, I watched 2 Years at Sea, by Ben Rivers, I believe is his name, which is a really, really great documentary. I think one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. It uses like its slow and like sort of serene atmosphere to make like almost a commentary on what we see as like serenity, like within our lives, and sort of how we need to sort of embrace that serenity more as the world gets busier and louder. Uh, Not at all stealing ideas from one of my terrible short films, Simplicity of Serenity. Um, Definitely. Um, and then I
You
watched the
should sue
boy.
him. You should sue him.
I should sue him, bro. He ripped me off. The next day,
He
not the
literally
next
did.
day. He did 4 days later. I watched The Boy and the Heron, which we'll get to later. Then I watched After Sun. And then today, this morning, I rewatched The Holy Mountain, which is one of my favorite movies ever. So good. Jodorowsky messed up as a person. I don't like him as a guy, but he makes some good movies.
All right, so I've started the month out with May December 2. May December I think
They made a
is
sequel.
How did May December 2 compare to May December 1?
well, I meant May December 2 like Enrique also watched it on the first. But basically May December I think I really, really love its energy. A lot of people have gotten mad at the idea of it being called camp. I kind of half disagree with it being camp. I kind of half don't. It depends on what half of the movie you're talking about because the first half I think is total like goofy. It is goofy. The first half is goofy. Not to understate its seriousness, but it has comedic moments. The second half is very serious. I think to an extent the second half kind of loses me. I feel like it's focused too much on
This
two characters or just what's happening in the now because I kind of left it wanting to know more by the end personally. But I think overall it's a very strong movie and I really want to check out more of Todd Haynes' work. And then I rewatched Tar. I'm gonna make a video essay on that, and I'm not gonna talk about that one. And then I'll rewatch In the Bedroom. Not rewatch. I watched it for the first time in the bedroom. I'm trying to familiar myself with Todd Field's work. I think it's kind of hard to when he stopped making movies for like 16 years straight, but there's definitely Tar vibes in this movie.
makes it easier to watch all his movies.
It does. It's like 3 movies. I feel like the fact that he left for 16 years helps with Tar's insight, but I'll talk about that another time. Um, I think In the Bedroom is a deeply haunting movie. I think there's this one character I'm really upset that it drops after the first act because I really wanted to explore how she processed a certain grief that I'm not going to spoil, but um I think In the Bedroom's really solid and I want to talk about it more. And then I watched First Reformed for the first time and I thought that movie was just totally perfect, dude. First Reformed, man. It is crazy somebody who's in their 70s and was like I think 70 71 at the time making that movie got the urgency, got the fears, got the problem with climate change and all that, and somehow put it to the setting of like a priest, which is like the last thing I'd expect to be a protagonist in a climate change related movie. It is Paul Schrader definitely uh knows how to explore one guy who goes crazy, and I'll leave it at that. And then I watched. I'm a I'm a huge fan of Sam Esmail's show, Mr. Robot. So of course I was excited to watch Leave the World Behind. It was good. I feel like there's some really haunting moments. The concept is great, but I feel like it lacks in a lot of character depth. I really hated Julia Roberts' character. I feel like at times it's doing too much or doing too little. I don't know, but overall, I think solid concept. I think a lot of people will love it, and I think a lot of people will hate it. Just depends on what type of movies you like, because it is not. It has kind of an artsy cinematography style to it. Sam Esmail has always done that, but the plot wise, it is super bare. But it is not deeper than really what it tells you, I think. But yeah, then I saw the Iron Claw early with my dad at our local theater
Lucky.
grand opening. And I wrote a good letterbox review about it, so just like check that letterbox review if you want to get my
If you
thoughts.
want to
But
look at their letter, I'm gonna put them in the description of the video.
I think what the Iron Claw gets wrong is the straight up erasure of one of the brothers. I understand that's like a super devastating story, and maybe I just don't know the full story behind why they chose to do what they did. But I feel like it just kind of disrespectful to me. But I think other than that, it's a really solid movie. I was kind of thinking 5 stars coming out of it, but it was like movie fatigue, so here I know. Then I kind of rewatched Full Metal Jacket. I've never seen the second half of that movie, so I watched it in full finally. And I honestly, my expectations were blown out of the water because I turned it off the first time because it was so unlikable the second half. But then I got why it was unlikable by the end. Um, because it's unlikable to show just like what these men have become. And I don't know. I feel like it's testing your patience a lot of the time, but I think it does come out cooking. Then I saw Spirited Away. We'll talk about that later. Boy and the Heron. We'll talk about that later. I rewatched Good Time for like I think the third or fourth time. I love Good Time, man. If you just want to kill 90 minutes, watch that movie. Rache, watch that movie. I'm
Is
still
watching
doing
that
that, Rache.
movie a good time?
No, sometimes no though. Then I watched Days of Being Wild.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Okay, I have mixed thoughts. Okay,
We should
third.
Yeah.
The third act of that movie is like peak. It's great. It's full one car buy. I think the rest of it is really not exploring characters or settings or circumstances enough. I feel like it's doing too little with a lot. And I think it's just a me problem. But yeah, it does cook in the third act though when it gets kind of like when it focuses on like one person, not one person, like one or two or three people instead of like the six it's focusing on the first part. The music is killer. I feel like it would have been better if it had more music. That's it. Then I watched Christmas Vacation, White Christmas. Those are Christmas
Good movie.
movies. They're
I saw
classics.
I saw that in the theater, National Lampoon.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater. Yes, on the 19th with all my family. It was peak. It was fun. We all had a blast. I love White Christmas was fun too because when you watch it with like people who've seen it like 40 times over, they only point out things like his hair is kind of messy in that scene, and it's like it brings a really fun atmosphere to it.
They play the song, right, in the movie.
Yeah, only in the start and end though. I really like how it lets you sit in the holiday instead of like telling you about the Christmas spirit, all that stupid stuff all the time because it's like barely a Christmas movie, but it is about the holiday.
Well, it has one of the most
And,
iconic Christmas
and
songs.
what's funny is that it kind of invented the Hallmark Christmas movie plotline to an extent. I feel like I don't think this is like fully true, but it does kind of have like that romance. The friends are trying to get them into the romance. There's like a miscommunication that causes one of them to leave, and then they come back right at the very end. You already know.
Yeah.
And it's white as hell. White Christmas. It's called White Christmas, bro.
All right.
All right, so on to Boy and the Heron, guys.
Boy and the Heron.
All right, so just let's just do general thoughts from Enrique.
Okay.
On to
General
Boy and the
thoughts.
Heron, everybody. So I got
Okay,
this
Eric.
movie. I got this movie at my Cinemark with my little brother. What?
Jack is lagging.
Hello?
You were lagging. You're fine.
All right, guys. How about let's restart. Let's restart the segment.
Start by telling me about how you saw the movie. There's so much shit.
All right. So on to Boy and the Heron, guys. So let's start with Enrique. General thoughts on the movie.
I saw it in theaters with Rache.
Yes.
The downtown mall, the Violet Crown.
Did you guys see it with anybody else?
No, just me and Rache.
Just the two of us. There were some other people in the theater, but that's
No,
about
yeah, there
it.
were other people in the theater. There was a girl in front of us who was just on her phone the whole movie.
The entire time.
I've never had that experience in a theater where somebody's just on their phone the whole time.
When I went to see,
And I'm glad I haven't.
when I went to see the Avatar: The Way of Water, the good movie by the way, guys. But when I went to see it, there was a guy next to me who was just like on Instagram the whole movie.
Yeah, apparently there's a problem with The Way of Water. I guess it was like the equivalent of Subway Surfers gameplay footage for just doom scrolling.
Bro,
I heard horror stories about it.
All right. Boy and the Heron. So the It's like the only other Miyazaki movie I've seen is Spirited Away, which I watched in preparation for Boy and the Heron. So I'm not really like a huge fan. I mean, I like the movies. Spirited Away is amazing, but I have to. I'm not really saying this in perspective of like other Miyazaki movies, but like it's like the movie was beautiful. Every shot in the movie is like, I mean, it's literally they're all like paintings.
Every frame of painting, literally.
Every frame of painting. The story was well done. It had like its twists and turns. It had the dub voice acting was actually really well.
The
Really,
voice acting was goated.
Yeah,
you had
dude,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson was absolutely incredible.
It was
Dude,
the best casting, bro. I don't know how he did it.
they should have an Oscar for best voice acting performance, and give it to Robert Pattinson for that.
Real.
For the
We
Heron.
had the-
Honestly, real. I don't think if
He
it's a
doesn't
dub,
sound
I
like
don't think
Robert
it'd be
Pattinson at all.
eligible.
We had the iconic movie aspect of Willem Dafoe showing up for 5 seconds and then immediately dying.
No, Coy Lloyd, what was up with that? He was up. I genuinely thought he would be important in the movie.
Same.
I mean, he was important.
And
The
he said
character.
3 sentences.
Shout out to
Number
the
one.
shout out to
I just want to
the
know what that phone call was like. I just want to
I
know what that
know.
phone call was like.
dude. Shout out to the mom in front of us covering her like 7-year-old daughter's eyes during the Willem Dafoe scene.
Did that happen?
Yeah, did you not
No.
notice that?
Did she cover her eyes during the scene where he like
You know
goes,
what's
where
funny?
there's,
There
like,
was a girl.
carves something
The
open?
old ladies during the movie. There was a girl in front of us, and she was like,
Oh yeah,
"That was funny."
yeah. Every time the
Oh.
old lady showed up, she was like, "They're so sweet."
Yeah, they're addicted to cigarettes, but you know.
Bro, I genuinely felt so much sadness when those like little blob guys started getting eaten by the pelicans. You don't understand.
Same.
You don't
Guys,
understand how much that hurt me.
You can't blame the Pelicans for that,
I was like saying like at the first, I was like, oh, they're so cute, oh my god.
dude.
And then it's like, no.
I'm gonna actually I'm gonna get into major spoilers later because I want to talk about.
We can get into spoilers.
Yeah, after a little bit, I feel like we should let people hear
My main issue with the movie, and it would be like a 5-star. It would be one of the best of the year without this. Actually, 2 issues. The number one, the opening scene is really good with like the fire.
Yeah.
And then
it's
the
like
next
that is like top 3 scenes of the movie for me because like you don't expect it to start out like that.
the next 10 minutes are boring as hell.
I agree.
Not
agree.
true. I agree, and that stops it from being like my top 5 of all time. But like, I feel like I felt like by the end of that sequence, I was in like the halfway through the movie, and I was like, oh my god, when is this gonna be like half the movie? Be like half the whole
Dude, the
I thought
movie
that was gonna be the whole movie, bro.
the movie flies by. It does not feel like 2 hours.
The movie afterwards, the movie flies by.
During that part, it feels like forever, and then afterwards,
objectively, yeah, that part is boring. I feel like I feel like it makes sense though. I feel like it makes sense.
I do think it is a flaw with the movie because I think it could be cut down a tiny bit.
The biggest flaw with the movie, in my opinion,
I agree with Enrique here.
The boy himself is one of the most boring protagonists.
You are a hater. No,
number one, he has like no personality traits.
He's like a subdued guy in this whimsical world. It is kind of like
He's just a guy. He's a blank slate.
That's what I like about it. He's like he kind of just like glides along with this world, kind of like weird, like when a video game has like a silent protagonist.
Okay,
yeah, but
so,
you can do that.
Here's my issue here. So like let's compare this to Spirited Away. I think that Chihiro as
he's about to say the worst. He's about to say the worst.
I think Chihiro is an incredible protagonist for Spirited Away. And I think
Chihiro, because your statement.
Let me explain my point.
Yeah.
So Spirited Away and Boy and the Heron share a lot of similarities, like with the way their worlds are like set up, like the kid, like it's.
Well, I would say the same about like every Miyazaki movie when it has like, a fantasy world.
True, but like I think when you compare their differences, I think you see that
the boy
Chihiro adds like a lot of like I feel like a lot more emotion to Spirited Away.
Chihiro
than
is
the Boy and the Heron
character, and the boy is not.
Yeah,
you see, I would have agreed with you. I would have agreed with you for the sequence just in the house in that movie,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like I got him. He clicked for me.
Yeah, I could see him
He
clicking for some
afterwards,
people.
just the way he explores the world. I love the way that he doesn't
But I
seem like
do
a
think
childlike character whatsoever, but just the way that he accepts this world is inherently childlike.
You know what he kind of reminds me of?
yes. Yeah.
You guys want to know?
Yeah.
Well, two things. One of them is a horrible insult, and the other one actually isn't. But no, okay, I'm gonna go with the insult one. He kind of reminds me. I don't think you guys have seen this movie, but he reminds me of John David Washington in Tenet.
I have not seen
Actually,
that.
I'm the protagonist.
no. The protagonist from Tenet actually had like a personality. I don't know what it was. I couldn't name you any traits, but he made like one joke in the whole movie. So, but
Yeah, and I think
what he
and I don't
is
think that the boy in the Boy and the Heron like being bland is his fault because unlike Chihiro, he
it's
has
not a
like
huge flaw. It's
yeah,
very
it's not a
minor.
flaw. It's but unlike
just a big
I
Chihiro,
feel
there is reason for it because of his like trauma with his mom.
Yeah. But
I feel that trauma with his mom, especially in that scene where he opens the "How Do You Live" book,
Yeah.
or when he
Okay.
writes a letter.
Can
oh
we
no, let's get into that later.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get into that later.
Okay. Yeah. Are we gonna?
I want to say something. The kid, I'm still on the kid. The kid reminds me. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the kid in Wes Anderson movies.
Okay, that's
Hold
that's
up,
accurate.
hold up. That's
Remind me
kind of
of
accurate.
The
That is accurate.
Asteroid City kid, the Moonrise Kingdom kid. The kids are always like super stoic.
It works. It
Yeah.
sometimes works for Wes Anderson movies.
It
Like
works for Wes Anderson sometimes.
it works in Moonrise Kingdom. It's all right in Asteroid City. I feel like my biggest. Not going to talk about that, but yeah.
The kid plays second fiddle to Jason Schwartzman in that movie, anyway.
Jason Schwartzman's performance is okay in Asteroid City. Hot take. It's okay.
In Moonrise, the kid. We're not on Moonrise Kingdom. I don't know why I'm gonna get into the
Moonrise Kingdom has great protagonists. The side characters are the ones I don't like.
Let's save the Moonrise Kingdom for when we do like a Wes Anderson episode.
Yeah.
Let's save.
All right. Let me get my perspective on this protagonist. I feel like I feel his weight. I feel his weight emotionally, and he's not a childlike character, and I feel like that is where it turns a lot of people off.
Oh,
because usually there's childlike characters in these fantasy worlds Miyazaki does that are about children.
Chihiro is one of the most childlike characters.
The emotional maturity of the character to me represents how hard he was forced to grow up in this world, this big world to me, and all this weight that's being put on his shoulders that he doesn't want. And I'm not going to spoil it yet, but all this weight that he puts on his shoulders that he doesn't want is kind of just. I don't know where I'm going. I feel like I lost when I said I'm not going to spoil it yet. I feel like I lost where I was going. But basically, this childlike world is something that he enjoys his time in, and it is he just has so much emotional weight on him, emotional baggage, and this world kind of gives him baggage too in the end. And I feel like he rejects that. He rejects that because he doesn't want to be as emotionally mature as he's being forced to be after the war. And I feel like that's a bit of I feel like that is something that plays into Miyazaki himself.
Would you argue maybe that the whole fantasy world is sort of like his childhood that he didn't get to have much of because of the war?
Yes, I would 100% argue that.
Okay.
But at the end, I'm gonna. All right, can we get into spoilers now?
We can get into spoilers.
In the ending, it feels like this world is kind of turning against him.
Yes,
and I feel like it represents how
his childhood.
Would you say that you're forced to reconcile with the world that you live in, and try to find wonder through that. Even I like that perspective. I like that perspective a lot.
In the end, which this is like the
I don't want to call that world escapism, but
this is like the big plot twist in the movie. Or I don't know if it was a plot twist. I might just
not a plot twist. It's not a plot twist.
The fire maiden girl turns out to be like his mom. But like
that was cool.
That was cool. I like that.
Was that a plot twist?
No, I would not say that it's a plot twist.
I didn't see it. It was like, oh snap! I was like, oh nice. So no,
me and Rache looked at each other like, oh, because we had. Here was my theory beforehand, because
I just went
I
with
thought-
it. I feel like for Miyazaki movies, you just kind of got to go with it and not
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
Don't think
the
about
word
it too
I
much.
was theorizing as to what was going on. I was thinking that the I actually had this theory and I told it to Rache, and it actually made sense. I thought that I did
You're just
not
talking in the
catch
theater?
that the stepmom was the mom's sister until at the end. So I thought that, you know how the Fisher girl turned out to be like the old woman, but like like an
Well,
alternate.
no, that was shown earlier on, I think,
What?
right?
That the
That
mom
the
was the sister.
No, that the old grandma person
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
Fisher
You
woman.
know how that I
that was
thought that
shown
the,
early
I thought
on.
that I thought that since one character is revealed to be the one of the grandmas, that the fire girl was going to turn out to be like the red grandma because the stepmom said big sister to her, and then later on the stepmom said big sister to the fire girl. Which, so I did not catch the stepmom and the mom were sisters.
All right.
However,
I want to talk about the world a bit and how it kind of
Yeah.
like
We can
Yeah.
talk about the world.
represents the whole themes of the movie. I want to talk about
Yeah.
like the little blob characters that represent
Yeah.
like being born into the world and then get eaten by the
Yes.
pelicans. And I
Yes.
feel like
I think that's a
that
very important
that
scene to the entire story.
that definitely enhances the perspective of just like general loss of childhood at an early
Childhood
age,
innocence.
kind of, but also the sometimes the necessity of
Mhm.
losing immaturity.
Mhm.
I don't think there's really an age that I could put on that, and I feel like
Yeah.
that kind of is represented through the Pelicans.
Yeah, I would agree. So
It
would you
was
say that maybe if we're sort of like pinpointing this to the story itself and not generalizing it was to like a generalized metaphor, would you say that maybe the Pelicans are representative of the war itself and the way that it affected the children um of Japan in that
100
era?
oh 100%. It was written, I think, during the war.
Yeah.
I would 100% say that. Yeah.
It was written
Yeah.
during the war.
Miyazaki explores the war a lot, especially in The Wind Rises. Obviously, in The Wind Rises, it
Wind
is
Rises
literally
looks like a masterpiece.
The Wind Rises is peak, bro. It's a backdrop that he added personally to Howl's Moving Castle. Like the war wasn't, I believe the war wasn't in the book.
Yeah, you can tell that it really affected Miyazaki, I think personally, probably. I mean, I don't know about his personal life, but definitely
He is
it's-
very
alive like during the war?
yeah, he was alive. He's old.
bro. He's
No.
what? Of course he's alive. Wait, he just made a movie. Of course he's alive, bro.
No.
No,
Was he alive
no.
during the war?
Oh, during the war? Wait,
I
how?
think so.
He,
I think so.
He was born in 1941. When did?
Okay,
when
so
did-
he was like 4
Okay.
when it ended, but he could have lost like family during
Yeah,
the war.
or like his family could have
And
been
he
involved.
comes of age in Japan that is like
Yeah,
post-
he comes of age and just like ruined Japan.
which
So like
Yeah.
I just wanna I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna get a little off track, but the other movie, which actually it's interesting, it actually relates because you see how two movies can have almost differing takes
Mhm.
or complement each other on their perspective of the wars. Godzilla minus one,
mhm.
which is also came out American release in December and is about post-war Japan.
This is like the weirdest comparison that I've ever heard so far. Godzilla minus one versus The Boy and the Heron.
Well, they relate. They're both Japanese movies. They both
I don't know anything
they both
about
had an
Godzilla.
American release in December 2023, and they're both about post-war Japan. And
That's okay. Yeah, I
I
didn't
can
know it
see
was
that.
about post-war Japan. I thought it was like a more modern movie,
Godzilla minus one shows
like modern time wise.
Godzilla as the nuclear bomb.
Yes.
Not literally, but it's a metaphor for the nuclear bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it's the metaphor in the original film, and they bring it back for this one. And that movie, even though it follows one guy, it's really about the entire nation of Japan and how it affected the whole country and how they have to like build back.
There's
And
been a lot of movies that explore that this year, I believe.
yeah, there's been a lot of like World War II movies.
Yeah, Oppenheimer. I feel like Oppenheimer, like a lot of people criticize the fact that it doesn't show Japan itself, but I feel like you feel the sorrow for that country through Oppenheimer's perspective.
Don't get into spoilers for Oppenheimer because we have
I'm not going
Rach
to.
hasn't seen it.
I'm not going to, but there's one scene with a crowd.
Oh
I think-
yes, that you'll see. Yes, but the Boy and the Heron, Godzilla minus one is about the whole country of Japan. Boy and the Heron is about one guy. Boy and the Heron has no pretenses of being about like the
Oh yeah, also Porco Rosso is about World War One. So
Boy and the Heron never mentions the nuclear bombs. It never mentions the Allied powers. It doesn't mention the history. It just assumes you know about it.
Yeah,
And
it
goes.
uses. I think it's interesting how it sort of uses it as a backdrop almost.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
That's not really like a major part of the plot.
Yeah,
that's
it's
why I
not.
love the opening scene so much. Honestly, the
Yeah,
opening scene might
it's
be my favorite in the movie.
it's
Just
such
the
a good
way
scene.
that all these characters wave and like around him, the sound design is killer. The way it just starts out with these sirens. You do not expect the Boy and the Heron to start out with these blaring sirens. I went into this
Oh.
movie with my brother, and he was like, "Bro, it better not be scary or sad, bro." And that's how it
Oh
started.
no.
Dude, do you think that the Parakeet King?
Okay, I'm not even gonna try
Do
it.
Do you think the Parakeet King is a metaphor for the
No.
authoritarian government that
No.
ruled Japan during the war period?
You're wrong. I love how you started serious and then like as you realized what you were saying, got like deep into it, bro. I feel like the final act in that movie, in particular, is very representative of Miyazaki's career
Yeah.
and his feelings.
It was
Is, I
crazy
think
when
I
the boy
agree.
went down.
it gets more and more personal as it goes on, I believe.
Do you think
Wait,
that-
wait. Do you
Jack.
think that the uncle is Miyazaki himself?
That's what I was about to say. Do you think the blocks are in a way like that Miyazaki wants to find someone who can keep making these types of movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like the whole it's very meta at the end almost.
It is based off a book, obviously. You know,
Miyazaki-
it's not like from his
What
the world is from his imagination totally, like the way he draws it, but the story itself is not 100% his. It was
Yeah,
written,
but he
I
can
think, in the 30s.
he can
He makes-
reshape it
he-
into the
Yeah,
metaphor that he wants
he
it to
can
be.
quite literally reshape it like the boy himself in
Yeah.
the box.
If we're assuming that the uncle's Miyazaki, that really makes the movie anti-Goro Miyazaki. Because what happens in it is that let's assume it's a Miyazaki allegory. It's about Goro Miyazaki being asked by his father to carry on his legacy, and then he's like, "Nah," and then all the towers come crumbling down, and all of Studio Ghibli like is erased.
and then he drops
interesting.
Earwig and the Witch, bro.
Earwig in the Wind.
Dude,
Dude, that's a fascinating perspective actually, and I actually totally see it.
I don't see it, but it is funny.
The entirety of Boy and the Heron is just about how much Miyazaki hates Goro Miyazaki.
All right. You guys want to
the
talk?
pelican, the
All right,
pelican,
can we-
the pelican.
okay,
the
Can
little
we talk
dog
about
guy-
how Boy and the Heron is
A better title. It's
than How Do You
a
Live?
better title than How Do You
It's
Live.
Rache was on the Boy and the Heron train, and then he sees the movie. Because How Do You Live?
It shows
How Do
up
You
for
Live
5
is-
seconds and plays no part in the plot
It
whatsoever.
shows
How
up
Do You
in a
Live
book. It shows
How
up.
Do You Live is the original name of the book that is based off. How Do You Live is a perfect name.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
care if it's
okay,
referenced
Enrique,
in one
Enrique,
book. That is like
Enrique.
the same as
I
that is
said an allegory about this.
Yeah,
It would
give
be like,
me your allegory. Give me your allegory because it was good.
yes, it would be like if in Chungking Express, that's the movie we're gonna go with, by the way. I don't know why, but it would be like if in Chungking Express, the Tony Leung got a copy of 1984, and he looked at it for 5 seconds, and then like never looked at it again, and he was like, "Oh."
no.
And they named the movie 1984, and then when they sent it to America, they named it Chungking Express, and everyone's like, 1984
funny.
is a better title."
Here's my counterpoint. The book it is based off is quite literally called How Do You Live?
I do not care.
The book, I bet you it has
The original name brings up so many. The movie is quite literally about how do you live.
No, it is
just
not.
as
I
the
know it is
idea
not.
of it being Miyazaki's last movie, calling it "How Do You Live."
That's
That is just kind of
cheesy.
perfect to me.
That's
That is
corny.
perfect to me.
That's corny.
I don't care. The
How do
boy
you
and the
like
heron.
if
The boy
Once Were
and the
Alive-
heron. The boy and the heron are not even. The heron is not even like a main character
Yes,
of the
he is.
movie.
What? Yes, he is.
He has like
He
the
is a
second most
supporting
screen
role.
time.
He's a supporting role.
He's like
He's
the
a
second.
supporting
He's the
role.
second
Bro, he
most screen time
disappears
character.
for like 45 straight minutes of the movie.
Yeah, he disappears for the worst 35 minutes, bro.
Bro, he's not a main character. He's a supporting character. I love him. They had
Okay,
great
wait. Jack, I'm looking at the Boy and the Heron Wikipedia article for the book, and this has absolutely nothing to do with the actual movie.
Yeah, I feel like
It is about this kid named Honda who's a 15-year-old junior high school student who is an athlete, and he lives with his mother who's alive, and him and his uncle share advice, and the whole thing is just his diary where he talks about like philosophy. That has nothing to do with the Boy and the Heron movie. I don't know why Miyazaki said it was based off that.
Oh, that's what?
Yes,
Thank you, Miyazaki. Thank you, Miyazaki, for saying
look up
this.
the book. Go to plot.
No way.
Go to plot on Wikipedia right now.
How do you live book plot?
This has nothing to do with
I'm sure it's a good book, but Miyazaki really took it.
Why did he say
Really
it's based
took it
off
and made it really made it a big world, didn't he?
Yeah,
it has
really cool.
It's a completely different story.
Miyazaki takes things based off books and like totally changes them.
It would be like if Miyazaki claimed that Spirited Away was based off Diary of a Wimpy Kid. that is a similarity right there.
I read How Do You Live. I still think How Do You Live is a great name. Just as a name, I don't even care. Just as a name, it's great. It goes hard.
Guys, Spirited Away is canonically based off Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Dude, if I was
it's like if Spirited Away was based off a short story where Chihiro and her parents go to like a rundown theme park, walk around, and then leave.
No.
And then go to their
would
house.
be Kyle, who's an orphan, and he shows up to an abandoned theme park, and he leaves. And then they made it Chihiro and his parents show up,
and he has a small discussion with Chihiro and his parent.
Oh yeah. So okay, let's say both are bad titles.
Yeah, I think Boy and the Heron is not a good title either.
How Do You Live's a better title. I don't care.
The title should have been related to the building blocks.
You guys
I agree.
haters.
The title should have been related to the building blocks.
It is related to the building blocks. You guys are haters.
Why didn't they call it building blocks? That would have been fire.
That would have sucked.
He named the movie. This is the dude who named.
Are you seriously gonna name a kids movie Building Blocks, bro?
Dog, he named the movie Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro. Okay.
In the 80s.
Okay, he named the movie. Okay. We have a new illumination.
You know what a better title would have been? You know what a better title would have been?
What?
A better title would have been "Screw You, Goro Miyazaki."
Also, Boy and the Heron is not a children's movie.
Yeah, it is not a children's movie. It's PG-13.
It's PG-13. It's like bloody. It's not just because it's animated does not mean it's like a children's movie.
Animation is cinema.
Bro, think he's Chafarillas.
Sorry.
Chafarillas.
Chafarillas.
All right.
Chafarillas.
All right. We got anything more to say about Boy and the Heron?
No, I don't think I have much more to say about it. Good movie.
No.
Watch it.
Guys, rate it on the
5 star. It's peak.
4.5, guys.
Yeah, I'm with Jack on the 5-star train. I think it's really
You guys
incredible.
are haters. It's peak. How do you live?
I literally gave it 5 stars. How am I
You guys are
haters?
haters. How do you live? I'm gonna call it How Do You Live from now on. You guys are haters. This is the end of the podcast.
All right, let's do our last segment.
Let's do it. What's the last segment?
Wasn't it like movies that we think?
Oh yeah, movies that we want to watch soon.
Okay.
I can start. So tomorrow I'm planning on maybe watching The Godfather for the first time.
What do you mean maybe, pal? I've been trying to get you to watch that.
What do you mean maybe, buddy?
Not for years. Why does
little bro? Pipe down.
Months. Pipe down, little bro.
Bro, tomorrow is the day before Christmas.
And then,
no, it isn't. No, it's not. It's the day before Christmas.
And
also, Godfather.
Christmas.
If Die Hard is a Christmas movie, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No.
I didn't watch Die Hard.
Okay, Jack, have you seen Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 takes place during Christmas. Is Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie?
I mean, yeah, you could totally watch it on Christmas and call it a Christmas movie, but you can watch it in any
Godfather is really a Christmas movie.
I can say the same about movies like Tangerine or
Godfather is a Christmas movie. Because number one, it has a sequence which is one of the most important for the plot, is set during Christmas.
Oh, I think I forgot Tangerine in the movies I saw this December. Tangerine's peak. You guys should watch Tangerine.
Godfather has a major sequence that's important for the plot set during Christmas. And Godfather is about family, which is the main theme of Christmas, guys. So Godfather is really a Christmas movie.
I'm gonna watch Saltburn later today because it's on Prime.
Oh, by the
Um,
way, can I say about the next episode? Or should I
yeah,
say that at the end?
yeah, say it at the end.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna watch Landscape in the Mist by Theo Angelopoulos because it looks really
I'm
good.
going to watch the Dark Evil Kaleidoscope of the Tower by like Angelo Irving Jr. the Third next from
All
1943.
right, all right.
It's literally just a movie where a tree uh
Max, shut up.
where a tree is just a center frame. It's just a tree. And then somebody sits down and reads a book and it's all in black and white and you can't hear
All right,
anything.
guys, we got 10 more minutes on the meeting. Enrique, go.
All right, so here's what I'm planning to watch soon. Tonight, I am probably gonna see. Me and my family are gonna probably rewatch The Batman.
Yes.
Great movie. Hot take. The Batman good. It was snubbed at the Oscars. It should have won a couple. It should
You
have
say
won
that every week. I'm so sick,
best
bro.
cinematography of the year of 2022. Maybe After Sun, but I think the Batman has more like After Sun is more like subtle cinematography, and the
Yeah.
Batman is more like look how cool this looks every 5 seconds. And you know what? It does look quite cool.
It does.
So best
It
cinematography
does.
one.
All right.
I'm gonna watch Maestro soon.
Yeah,
haven't-
Maestro looks very forced. Maestro looks 4-star.
Maestro looks like
Maestro
I'm gonna
looks
watch it.
3.5.
Maestro looks like I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna start my review with saying the cinematography in this was really good, and then talk about how weak the script was, and then at the end say Bradley Cooper did good. By the way, that's what it
Yeah.
looks like.
I agree. All right, Jack.
And
Yeah.
the
Spend time with Christmas
Miyazaki.
with my family, and I gotta edit so much stuff, and I gotta. Okay, that's it. We're done with the podcast. We are done, bro. It is over.
All right. Are we over?
Goodbye.
All right. Farewell.
Is that just how we're gonna end?
Yeah, Jack left.
That's not a proper ending, bro.
All right. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Circle K podcast. Tune in next time, I guess.